G'day folks, it's Rob here, harvesting some turmeric from the aquaponic system today, so I thought I'd bring you along and give you a bit of a look. Was going to include it in a clip I've already posted, a little bit of an aquaponics roundup, but I thought it deserved its own. Now this little bit of turmeric was started off around about 18 months to 2 years ago. Unfortunately, I can't find anywhere in my records or clips or blogs anywhere what date it actually went in. I can tell you though, it was started off from a small little section that grew through last winter. It died back, and along the way I have been breaking off small fingers here and there to use in cooking up the house, because it's a lot easier to get to than some of the soil plants we've got on the go. So without too much nattering on, we'll pop down and we'll have a crack at digging this little plant out and see how much we get. So this turmeric has done really well in the system. I can't complain at all, just the same as the ginger, considering this was just started with one small piece. So what I'm going to do to begin with is just chop off the leaves about yay high. These guys will just go into the compost down the back here. Smells absolutely fantastic. You can actually use these leaves for cooking as well. The young ones can be chopped up finely and added into meals, and these large ones can be used to wrap up fish and things like that, just to impart a little bit of a flavour to them. So now comes the fun part, because I know the roots are going to go all through the bed here. So what I might try and do is just find the large roots and break them off. Oh look, already snapped off a finger. Wow, there's a big root section down there. I think these guys here might just have to be replanted somewhere else. I don't want to run the knife around the outside because I may cut off fingers that are hidden under the clay. So there's one that's coming out down there, another one there. Here we go. Oops. Just broke off a small section, pop him in the basket. Another small section that's broken off. So this section here would be the original piece that went into the bed. It's all nice and rotted, so I might just bury that back in there and the compost worms can have a go at that. As you can see, there's these other little baubles on the ends of the roots, and I'm not too sure what they are, but I have a feeling that they may actually start off new plants down the line. Might have to look into that. But for now, let's try and get all this clay out. Try and get some more beads out of the top here. So I think that's pretty much all it. What we might do is just try and break off a few sections. It's all grown from one piece by the look of it. So this bit here has been propagated from this mother, this section here. There's a bit where it's snapped off down the base here. That just gives you some idea on how this plant grows and spreads. And what you end up with is a mother, which is this rhizome here, and then you'll have little hands and little fingers that come off. So I'd say there's going to be a lot of clay locked up in there, so I'm going to have to break them all to pieces to get it all out. But anyway, that's half the fun. Pop him to one side. So here's another mother. This is a better example. There's another mother here that you can see is growing this greenery, and then down the base here we have an offshoot which is forming yet another mother. So that's pretty much all the way it spreads around the patch. Might actually break him off, or her off. Give him a bit of a shake. I dare say I may have missed a couple of small sections like this, so they're probably going to sprout next season when the weather warms up a bit. A couple of roots there, might as well pull them out too. So there we go, I'll go give this stuff a bit of a clean and I'll show you the resulting harvest. So here you go folks, this is what it looks like all cleaned up. As you can see, I've gone along and snipped off any of the roots, found a couple of compost worms, and all that root matter will end up in a compost bin down the back. So I'm pretty chuffed about that. It looks like roughly around about 1 kilogram or 2 pounds worth. I'll add a little annotation with how much I actually harvested from this lot. this isn't just one growing season. It looks like it was a growing season and a half, maybe two, but I did harvest a little bit of this root along the way just to use in meals because it was easier to get to than the soil stuff. So yeah, I'm really stoked. One thing that I do think is funny is it's created all these little knobbly root sections and rhizome sections because the clay ball's gotten in between there, as you can see down in there, and it's forced the turmeric to grow around it. So I think that gives it a bit of a unique little look to the root. Something else that I noticed as well, I pointed out as I was harvesting them, these little sections that are growing off the end of the root. Now I've had a bit of a search around, I have looked into it before, and the two explanations that I've seen is one, they're a nutrient store for the plant, and the other one is it's a satellite root that goes off and starts off a new plant. And by the look of the way this one's colouring up, it does look like it's forming another finger. It's just a pity I didn't leave them a little bit longer. It would have been nice to see one, you know, with a little bit of a growth out of it. So just to give you a look at this as well, the roots that were growing near the surface of the grow bed, they've all started to throw up little growth points. So I dare say these guys, if left alone, would have turned into new mothers. There's 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're all green, so I thought that was very interesting. I haven't seen that with the soil ones that I've grown so far. As to how I'm going to use these guys, they're pretty much all going to be boiled up, broken into small sections, boiled up and then turned into a powder after they're dehydrated. So something I haven't yet tried on a large scale, so hopefully all these guys will get the treatment and we'll just see how they go. So yeah, pretty chuffed. So not a bad little harvest considering it all came from one little piece of turmeric about 2 years ago. Next season though, they won't be growing in the flood and drain beds, neither will the ginger over the other side there. I'm going to pop them into these yellow barrels and probably add a few more barrels there. I want them away from the other grow beds where they're taking up prime real estate that is in direct sunlight. Over here at the back of the system, we're underneath the mango trees, and I have found that the spice plants, the turmeric, ginger and galangal, all do a little bit better where they're in a partially shaded zone. So they should do much better over here, and I'll hook them all up with an external bell siphon, and yeah, it should be a fun little experiment. So yeah, check back in 6 or 7 months if you want to see how that one's going to work out for me. For you folks who haven't subscribed yet but are interested in what we're doing here with the aquaponics or soil beds or chickens or composting, you can click on that little link up there and check a little box, and you'll be sent an email every time I post one of the clips on those subjects to YouTube, and you can come along and say g'day in the comment section or just check out what we're doing around the place. I do hope that you've enjoyed the clip, folks, and maybe you've picked up a pointer or two on growing turmeric in aquaponics, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, folks. So I've already finished the clip and I was just weighing up the turmeric so I could pop it in a little annotation for you, and I discovered that there is a lot of flesh hidden behind the green leaves or the green stem part of the turmeric itself. This is the mother down the bottom here where the fingers came off. So don't just chop it off where you see the root and the greenery join, because you're missing out on quite a yield. I mean, I guesstimated roughly 2 pounds or just over a kilo, and I think this and all the other mothers, there's a few more here, all this extra bit of flesh is what pushed it up to the 3 kilos or over 6 pound mark. So there you go, just a little bit of a pointer for you guys. A lot of usable flesh hidden behind that greenery. Cheers all.